told you, I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. Guilty as
I honestly just saw like Christian, Justin, Quincy kind of start circling Ray a little bit. Words were exchanged. Things started getting heated. I feel like chests were being bumped. Ray had a backpack.
Seems like 50 Cent is stirring up the pot yet again, hinting that Diddy may have instructed his sons to go after Ray J.
Diddy's kids need to sit their ass down somewhere, okay? Don't get spanked trying to prove a point that you're not built to prove. You're gonna end up in jail with your pops or someplace worse. Whatever y'all on, get off it. I know you upset, you frustrated.
We all know Ray J has been unusually vocal recently, especially about Diddy's ongoing legal issues, and it's raising a few eyebrows.
A lot of people being implemented into this crazy criminal investigation that's going on right now. How many people are in it? How many celebrities are involved in what they're saying?
And just as tensions seem to be escalating, Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, were allegedly caught in a heated altercation.
Christian, Justin, and Quincy walk up to Ray J and they press him.
Imagine running down on somebody talking about, what's up with all that ass being taken talk? Okay, my daddy ain't taking no.
So is this coincidence, or is there something more sinister at play? Has Ray J stumbled onto something that Diddy would do anything to keep under wraps? Let's find out. Recently, a bombshell incident has sparked whispers across the industry. Diddy's sons, Quincy, Justin, and Christian, reportedly got into a heated altercation with Ray J at a Halloween party. And let's be real, this wasn't your average party spat. Rumor has it that this so-called scuffle was a well-calculated move, allegedly coordinated by Diddy himself.
Now there's a lot, of information coming out about that party. Diddy's sons, getting into an altercation with Ray J.
Nobody's gonna press Ray J.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. I mean, anyone can come and try to press.
Ray J found himself in the middle of an explosive showdown outside a Halloween party in Los Angeles. According to reports from TMZ, Diddy's sons allegedly confronted Ray J as he left the event with his manager, David Weintraub, and Amber Rose. The scene quickly turned tense as Diddy's sons reportedly surrounded Ray J, furious over recent comments he'd made about their father's legal troubles. Chests were bumped, words were exchanged, and it looked like King Combs and Justin were ready to throw down in defense of their father.
And he had this satchel on, so I'm like, does he have a blower in there? Like, I don't want it to really get to this level, so.
The situation was about to get ugly, but luckily, Chris Brown was nearby. The singer had witnessed the entire debacle unfold while he sat in his car outside the party and ran over to assist. Brown and Ray J's manager pulled the Combs brothers away from Ray J, which allowed others to step in and help cool things down. No one was injured, and everyone involved dispersed.
Out of nowhere, Chris Brown hops out the car like a freaking leprechaun out of the magically delicious sky, and honestly, he started breaking it up. I tried to talk to Quincy, Christian, get their stance on it.
However, given the situation, Diddy's sons have been very protective of their father since he got caught up in his trap case. They've been to several hearings in New York City to support their father and even released a statement with their sisters in which they defended their dad against conspiracy theorists and critics. This may be the first time the public has learned about the Combs siblings' confrontation with Ray J, but it's actually the fourth time they've come face-to-face with the Tronix Network founder. Diddy's sons have reportedly tried to square up with Ray J 3 times in different locations. Ray J told TMZ that he considers Combs and his sons to be family, but he was willing to throw down the other night after the Combs brothers hurled some outrageous comments at him. Regardless, the Love and Hip Hop star is still open to talk things out with them. Theories are swirling that Diddy's influence over his sons goes deeper than anyone realized. Insiders claim he may have instructed them to eliminate Ray J, or at the very least, intimidate him enough to keep any dirt he has hidden away for good. And this wouldn't be surprising to those who know Diddy's reputation. He's notorious for leveraging his power to silence anyone who could bring him down. Ray J, who's recently been unusually vocal about Diddy's lawsuits and ongoing scandals, might just have a bombshell of his own up his sleeve, something that Diddy would go to extreme lengths to suppress.
Diddy's kids need to sit their ass down somewhere, okay? Don't get spanked trying to prove a point that you're not built to prove. You're gonna end up in jail with your pops or someplace worse. Whatever y'all on, get off it. I know you upset, you frustrated.
To make matters even juicier, this all plays right into the hands of 50 Cent's long-standing criticisms of Diddy. For years, 50 has been the loudest voice calling out Diddy's alleged power plays, manipulations, and abuse of influence in the industry. He's painted Diddy as someone who will do anything to keep his secrets buried, even if it means taking control of those closest to him. Now, with Diddy seemingly pulling strings from prison, it's as if 50's been vindicated. He always said Diddy was capable of moving people around like chess pieces. And here we are, watching his own sons allegedly being used as pawns in a dangerous game.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
And then Ray J, known for his outspoken personality, hasn't been holding back recently, especially when it comes to Diddy's lawsuits and controversies. His public comments about Diddy's legal woes have put him directly in the crosshairs of Diddy's camp, leading many to wonder if Ray J has something even bigger to reveal. And while Ray J hasn't hinted at what secrets he might hold, those close to Diddy speculate he would go to extreme lengths to keep any skeletons locked tightly in the closet.
I know I did the first interview on News Nation, and now I see a whole lot of interviews coming after. Are you guys waiting for somebody to like be the front runner to speak out and to say what they feel? Because I'm not scared.
But let's rewind the past. Ray J shared his take on why celebs are keeping mum about Diddy's legal troubles. In a video posted by TMZ on YouTube, Ray J chatted with a cameraman about Diddy's ongoing legal battles. When asked why some of Diddy's closest pals haven't spoken up, Ray J gave a pretty reasonable explanation. He wasn't surprised by the silence, suggesting that celebs are just trying to wrap their heads around the serious allegations and waiting to see how it all pans out.
Still a big question mark. Pray for everybody, though. Prayers go up for everybody.
And this is what apparently may have bothered Bossy to claim that he might be Diddy's accomplice. Well, this is not the only incident that led him to the conclusion. Another surprising event that took place in Beverly Hills also concluded the same thing. Ray J's wild night back in May 2014 turned into a total nightmare for him. According to TMZ, the Los Angeles district attorney hit the singer with a whopping 10 charges following a drunken and reckless episode at the Beverly Hills Hotel. It all went down last spring when Ray J got the boot from the swanky hotel's bar due to his drunken antics. Clearly ticked off, he didn't take it well, and things quickly spiraled out of control. He ended up getting arrested after allegedly spitting on a cop and kicking out a window of the police car.
The man known for making a tape with Kim Kardashian and dating Whitney Houston was taken into custody and then allegedly kicked and shattered a police car window, spitting on an officer as well.
Now, Ray J faced a laundry list of charges: 4 counts of resisting arrest, 3 counts of A and battery, and 2 counts of vandalism. And to top it off, they threw in a charge of S battery for allegedly brushing against a female patron's rear end during the chaos. The cops think this one's a stretch since it wasn't intentional, but the DA slapped him with it anyway. Tough break. People have suggested that the party was most probably Diddy's, and his recent lawsuits suggest the same thing. In November, Cassie Ventura dropped a bombshell lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs in a New York federal court. The lawsuit paints a disturbing picture, alleging SA, physical A, and some truly shocking claims, like Combs supposedly forcing her into intimate acts with male S-workers while he watched. It's heavy stuff, to say the least.
She alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-out sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed.
But this isn't the first time Diddy's been in hot water. Despite his attempt to rebrand as Brother Love and even legally changing his middle name to Love, his past is riddled with allegations of violence, dating all the way back to the 90s. While he's never been convicted of a serious crime, accusations have followed him like a shadow. From former partners like Ventura and Gina Huyn, who accused him of A in 2019, to run-ins with industry folks like executive Steve Stout, and even clashes with rappers like J. Cole and Drake, Diddy's reputation isn't squeaky clean, to say the least. Combs' lawyer, Ben Brafman, didn't mince words when responding to the allegations. According to the New York Times, he stated that Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. Brafman went on to explain that for the past 6 months, Cassie Ventura had been pressuring Combs for $30 million, threatening to write a damaging book about their relationship if he didn't comply. But there is more to it. In a tragic turn of events, Combs was involved in a celebrity basketball game and concert at City College of New York that ended in disaster. Despite the gym having a capacity of 2,730 people, an overwhelming crowd of up to 5,000 showed up. far exceeding the venue's limits. With insufficient security to manage the chaos, organizers made the tough call to close the doors, triggering panic among those outside. The situation spiraled into a stampede as people rushed the lobby after breaking the gym's doors. The fallout was severe. Then New York City Mayor David Dinkins' administration published a scathing 67-page report titled "A Failure of Responsibility," placing blame on Combs for hiring inadequate and inexperienced security. Combs faced a barrage of lawsuits from the families of those who lost their lives in the tragedy, ultimately settling the last lawsuit in 2000. It was a grim chapter in Combs' career, marked by loss and legal battles. And remember when Boozy Badazz called out Ray J for being a major accomplice of Diddy and helping him in the alleged murder of Whitney Houston? Shockingly, Ray J's name has surfaced again in Diddy's recent lawsuit. And let's be real, Ray J's no stranger to trouble. He's been mixed up in all sorts of shady stuff, from getting wasted at Beverly Hills clubs to hanging out with the wrong crowd. And guess what? It's all closely connected to Diddy. It's almost like Ray's going out of his way to make Boozy believe he's Diddy's partner in crime or something.
I don't hear none of them who was at Diddy's toasting with that champagne every year, having speeches with, man. Ain't nobody speak up for this man or nothing.
It's been speculated for years that Diddy has been involved in every possible shady activity imaginable. Now, with rumors swirling that Ray J might be his accomplice, it raises serious questions about what they could have been up to together. Recently, Ray J was seen wandering shirtless down the street, looking disoriented, which suggests he may be unraveling under the weight of it all. So the question is Ray J losing his mind over guilt, or is Hollywood punishing him for letting the evidence slip out? Well, let's take a proper look into the matter. Looks like the rumors about Ray J being a handler in the industry and supplying hard substances to celebrities are true after all. Stunna Girl just dropped some major tea, and she's not messing around. She accused Ray J of shoving stuff down Wendy's and Whitney's throats.
When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag. I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
Stunna Girl's accusations caught everyone's attention fast. For one, she's been working closely with Ray J these past few months, so if anyone knows the inside scoop about his business, it's her. Second, a lot of people have already been accusing him of having a hand in Whitney's raging addiction and even her death. Stunna coming out with this just months after hanging around Ray speaks volumes, and people aren't planning to let up until Ray J is held accountable for what he did to Wendy and Whitney. And we told you before, Stunna and Ray J have been working together for a hot minute. Stunna used to be on Bad's West, a show that Ray J was co-executive producing along with Lemon and Pepper and Natalie Nunn. Their business relationship developed even more, and it was announced that Stunna was getting her own TV network called Red Rum TV. She would also be having her own reality show with Ray J as the executive producer.
You know, we're just coming in here to let everybody know it's official. This week was just a pre-launch where we just throwing out the trailers. And a lot of people don't understand what's really happening, what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? But the anticipation is getting high.
However, not too long after this was announced, Ray J pulled out from the deal. Apparently, Stunna Girl's man, young Rich Moolah, was getting too involved in everything, and Ray J didn't like that. Ray even jumped on the official page of Red Rum TV and said, "We are not supporting Red Rum TV no more. Young Rich Moolah is going to be the downfall of Stunna Girl's career. I hate people who act like businessmen but are little kids deep down. Young Rich Moolah, grow up. Every opportunity you ruin, Stunna Girl, leave that broke man. It ain't that serious." Stunna wasn't having it, y'all. She jumped on IG and dragged Ray J for filth. "Stop speaking on me. Or none but a Hollywood kid who's having a midlife crisis at 50 faking a gangster image once you couldn't pay us for clout and my husband for protection anymore. You started trying to be him. You even tattooed her face like his Elma Ubai," wrote Stunna Girl on Instagram. They kept on having issues after this, but it was mostly behind the scenes, and they tried their best to keep it out of the internet's business. That was until a few days ago when Stunna jumped on IG again and went off on Ray J this time. She didn't just throw insults at him, she flat out accused him of being behind Wendy Williams' current health issues. Let's just say this sent the internet into a frenzy. She claimed he was the one supplying her with the life-threatening substances that she was hooked on prior to her illness. Instead of constantly being worried about me, Ray J needs to focus on what he did to Wendy Williams. She ain't been the same since you took her on that D-binge gang, wrote Stunna Girl in her Instagram story. This was a real shocker because no one suspected for a second that Ray had something to do with that. For those who didn't know, Wendy actually had a serious substance addiction problem dating all the way back to her days as a radio personality. She tried to get help several times over the years, but never succeeded in getting a hold on the problem. Things got worse because in addition to her D use, she also became an A, triggering the health issues she's currently struggling with. In fact, even after Wendy got sick and doctors attributed her illness to A and Ds, her son Kevin Jr. said the people around her were still giving her A and Ds, almost like they wanted to keep Wendy in that state.
They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
And for those wondering why the industry would intentionally destroy Wendy, she was actually one of the first people to openly speak about industry parties and closeted rappers in the game. At one point, she even accused Diddy of being closeted, but he blackballed her and threatened her life so much that she had to flee New York because it wasn't safe for her anymore.
For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures.
Now this is where things get even more interesting. After Stunna made those allegations about Ray J supplying Wendy with Ds, people did some digging. They found out that Ray J has been making secret visits to Wendy at her rehab these past few months. The paparazzi even caught him with her not too long ago. People believe he went to see her to ensure she was still getting those Ds because, as we said before, the industry intentionally did this to keep her quiet. Wendy knows too much, and who better to do the job than Ray J? Some of you might not know this, but Ray J has been accused of being a handler in the industry for years. People believe he was even involved in Whitney Houston's death, just like Wendy. Allegedly, he also supplied substances to Whitney, including the ones she overdosed on. In fact, when Stunna made these allegations about Ray giving Wendy Ds, the first person people brought up was Whitney. One person wrote, "Ray J is a shady character. I can't say for sure he did something to Wendy, but he was on footage leaving Whitney's hotel before her demise." Another one added, "Ray J is very suspicious to me. Why is he always around older women that have D issues? I have always wondered why he is around Wendy because they don't even look like they have anything in common to be friends. I don't like Wendy, but I pray God protects her." At the time of Whitney's death, she was in a relationship with Ray J, and there were rumors that he was paid by Clive Davis to assist in her demise. Ray's alleged role was to supply Whitney with hard substances and encourage her severe D addiction, which she was struggling with for years. Despite Whitney's attempts to seek help through rehab, she tragically passed away on February 11, 2012. Jaguar Wright alleges that Whitney's death had absolutely nothing to do with a heart attack like her autopsy report suggests, and that she actually had several injuries on her body when she was found.
They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was beat up.
But that's not all, because according to Jaguar, Ray J was working hand-in-hand with Clive Davis and Diddy to delete Whitney as a form of alleged ritualistic sacrifice to move up in the ranks of Hollywood.
I know that you were the first, one of the first ones at Clive's party to speak about Whitney's passing the other day.
Yes.
And that was, did you know her well?
Yes, I did.
When it comes to Ray J and Diddy, they've actually been friends for quite some time, and it's not hard to find several videos and photos of them together online. Rage is a regular attendee of Diddy's freak-off parties, and he's hinted at Diddy being his role model on several occasions.
Hey, yo, this guy right here, one of the hip-hop entrepreneur young legends. He's in my gang. He gets money. Yes, he does.
Yes, I'm inspired though. God is good.
Ray J shared his take on why celebs are keeping mum about Diddy's legal troubles. In a video posted by TMZ on YouTube, Ray J chatted with a cameraman about Diddy's ongoing legal battles. When asked why some of Diddy's closest pals haven't spoken up, Ray J gave a pretty reasonable explanation. He wasn't surprised by the silence, suggesting that celebs are just trying to wrap their heads around the serious allegations and waiting to see how it all pans out.
Still a big question mark. Pray for everybody though. Prayers go up for everybody.
Diddy's journey intersected with Clive's when he was a 23-year-old aspiring artist aiming to make his mark in the competitive music industry. His innovative hip-hop concepts managed to captivate the renowned Clive, who was on the lookout for an artist capable of forging a genuine connection with the audience. Recalling their first meeting, Clive has shared that he discovered exactly what he was in search of within Diddy. Puffy was 23 years old, and I knew the artists that I had, Aretha, Dion, Whitney, was one kind of music, Davis says. LaFace ushered in blue-collared R&B at its height, but sensing the hip-hop revolution, both LA and I agreed that we could use someone really attuned to the street. You gotta know what you can do for yourself, and you gotta know when you need to look to other people. During that time frame, Diddy was working under Andre Harali at Uptown Records. However, encountering Clive Davis marked a turning point in his career, as his impactful words left a lasting impression on the music mogul, a moment that Clive himself vividly recalls. When I met with Puffy, he articulated that hip-hop should be part of the top 40 mainstream, and that the business would change in the future, he continues. And I said, what have you got to illustrate that point? And he played me Craig Max Flava in your ear, and he played me the then unknown artist that he felt and believed so strongly. He played me 4 or 5 cuts from Notorious Big. Diddy's words held such compelling force that they persuaded Clive, who quickly conveyed his approval, acknowledging that Diddy had effectively communicated his vision. Evident from their actions and numerous reports, the gender orientation of both figures were quite questionable, and ultimately sparked the rumor that Clive has been controlling and manipulating Diddy.
You decided to get on your knees and beg the demon for some bread, and all he gave you was crumbs. That's all he ever really gives anybody. Whatever millions Puff has put into somebody's pocket.
What catapulted a 23-year-old rising star straight to the top of the music world so quickly? The secret might just lie in his close connection with Clive Davis, a major player in the music industry. While Clive is famous for his hit productions, there's also been buzz lately about his personal life. After 2 marriages and divorces, Clive went on a journey to explore his own identity, eventually realizing he might be attracted to men.
That I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage, having read something about bisexuality.
Besides S Ventures, Clive Davis and Diddy were also rumored to be involved in Whitney Houston's D. People suggest that they might be behind her D's addiction because she was reportedly seen at those parties. And now Diddy, fearing all this, using his sons as his shield. But the theories keep growing. Some believe this alleged attack was a warning shot from Diddy's camp, a message for anyone thinking of crossing him, even those he once called friends. Others are speculating that Ray J knows something truly explosive, something that could destroy Diddy's legacy altogether. And Diddy, even while locked up, is doing everything possible to protect himself. It's all just one more chapter in a celebrity saga full of power struggles, secrets, and betrayal. At this point, it seems like 50 Cent has had his finger on the pulse the whole time, calling out Diddy's moves while the rest of us watch from the sidelines. With every new piece of gossip that surfaces, it's getting harder to ignore the whispers about Diddy's power and influence. The industry knows it, the fans are catching on, and with every new headline, it looks like 50's words were more than just gossip. They were a warning. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.